Good morning, everyone. My name is Kacper Zaryczny. I am Senior Solution Architect Security in Entity Poland. And together with my colleague Jacek Grymuza, we prepared a presentation, Strategies for Cyber Defenses, Endpoint Monitoring as the basis for a secure IT architecture. As for agenda for this presentation, we prepared a few points. So this is defensive strategies, best practices for effective endpoint security monitoring. We will speak a little bit about MITRE Defend matrix, and there we go. So if we speak about defensive strategies, we could list a few of them that are most important. So that would be the defense in depth, the zero trust architecture, the security awareness training, threat intelligence, and incident response planning. I will speak about a few of them, and my colleague will also mention the rest of them. So let's begin with the defense in-depth strategy. So when we look at this strategy, we could see that it is not a new strategy. It was already done in Middle Age. So if you look at the castle from the picture, we can see that the defense does not have only one layer of security. So we have, for example, limited entry points, guardian checks, inner walls, moat, and watchtowers. So the same thing we do in security. The defense in depth, if we look closer to it, we can say it's like an OC layer. So we take a traffic application and we split that into a few layers. So we have physical layer, network layer, computer application and device layer. And to all of these layers, we apply security rules. The reason to do that is so that if we have an error in any of these security things, then we can solve it with another device, another solution to solve security problems. So, for example, we have policies, we have firewalls, and if we needed to show the example how it could look like, so here we have. So, for example, we have some DNS protection in internet. Then the organization will have the firewall to help solve traffic for the safe traffic and the not safe traffic allowed and unallowed, and with, for example, the filtration of higher OC layers. Then on the servers and on the devices, we have software that can watch for unauthorized or unusual activity on the network, like the IDS, or we could use also the EDR application on the devices. Then we have business encryption applications that use biometric control to protect data and access. And on the workstation, we also have some security solutions that could help protect the organization. For example, workstations could use antivirus or could have the EDR that would block the traffic or the application or the process that could occur when the higher layers could pass it. So, for example, we pass the DNS protection by applying some address statically or any other solution to that. Then we have the firewall. Firewall could block the traffic, but could also pass it. Of course, we could also get the traffic or the application file from other sources like the USB stick or any other possibility. Then the EDR solution would help us by resolving the threat that came without network connection, for example. Using the backup, encrypted backup and encrypted applications, we could solve or restore our data from some ransomware attack or any other threat. We could also protect the data from being stolen because they are, of course, encrypted. The other possibility to solve network problems is zero trust security. And in zero trust security, the key thing is that we do not trust anyone or anything. We always say that the device or the user that is connecting could be either our customer, our colleague from work, or could be an threat actor. So that's why we want to measure the security of device that is being connected. Because normally we use static verification by using username and password. So that's the one-factor authentication. Then we thought about the two-factor authentication, where apart from our identity, we verify that the user has, for example, a token or has a mobile app and used biometric verification. But the ZTNA, the Zero Trust Network Access, provided something more. So we have a user and the thing that he has, but we also verify the device that this user is using. For example, if this is a corporate laptop, if it has an active antivirus connection, if the user is using, for example, right software, if the device is vulnerable or not. And then after that, we ensure that the user has the least privileged access to limit resource access so that he could have access only there where he should have the access and not everywhere. That's why zero trust is the thing that could help organization to ensure the access to their applications, to their resources, to their data is safe and is used right. The other problem in a lot of networks is human. Why? Because human is the weakest point of every security strategy. So here we have most common social engineering attacks. So it's phishing. I think almost every user became a phishing email, and it depends on the user how he could react on that. We provided a few phishing campaigns for security training, and a lot of users were able to click the link, and they provided even their domain privileges. So that's why user is the weakest point of security, and a lot of social engineering attacks could lead to potential threats, potential ransomware attacks. I think if we left in a few companies' pen drive that are labeled, for example, I don't know, employee pricing, employee payroll for 2024, a lot of users could potentially put them in their computers, and we would not know what on these pen drives would be. That's why cybersecurity awareness training is also so important, because not only we provide the solutions for security, but we are also training our users why we are doing this, what is so important about that, and how they should react, for example, for a cybersecurity incident, how they should react if they become a phishing email, if they, I don't know, find a pen drive, and why shouldn't they put that in their, for example, in their computer or in their device. Yeah. So that's all from me. Now I will leave the stage for my colleague Jacek that would also speak about strategies for monitoring and protecting endpoints. Thank you very much.
In this part of the presentation, we would like to focus on the best practices related to effective monitoring of endpoints. By following these practices, organizations can significantly enhance their endpoint security posture and better protect against cyber threats. Continuous monitoring and the regular security audits are key elements in any security process. For it to be effective, deploy EDR solutions that provide advanced threat detection, investigation, and response capabilities to mitigate threats quickly. Ensure that all operating systems and applications are regularly updated to protect against known vulnerabilities. Use role-based access control to limit user access to sensitive data and systems. Ensure that only authorized personnel can access critical endpoints. Encrypt sensitive data on endpoints to protect it from unauthorized access, especially in case of device theft or loss. We should conduct regular training sessions for employees on security best practices, including recognizing phishing attempts and safe browsing habits. Develop and maintain an incident response plan that outlines procedures for responding to security breaches. This should include roles, responsibilities, and communication strategies. Utilize tools that employ behavioral analysis to detect unusual patterns that may indicate security threats. Integrate endpoint monitoring tools with SIEM or SAR to enhance visibility and correlate uh, of security events across the network. Now, I'd like to remind you a few words what incident response planning looks like according to the SANS Institute. The preparation phase involves establishing and training an incident response team, developing incident response plan, and ensuring the necessary tools and resources are in place. In the education phase, the team detects and identifies potential security incidents. This includes monitoring systems, analyzing alerts, and determining the nature and scope of the incident. Once the incident is confirmed, the focus shifts to the containing the threat to prevent further damage. This can involve isolating affected systems and implementing temporary fixes. After eradication, the root cause of the incident is identified and removed. And recovery stage, affected systems are restored to normal operations, ensuring that they are clean and secure. This phase includes monitoring for any signs of weaknesses of further incidents. Finally, the team reviews the incident to understand what happened, how it was handled, and what can be improved in the future. Threat intelligence is vital for effective endpoint monitoring as it transforms raw data into actionable insights, enabling organizations to stay ahead of cyber threats. By understanding the tactics, techniques, and procedures used by threat actors, security teams can strengthen their defenses before any incident occurs. With actionable intelligence, security systems can improve their ability to detect threats. And specific knowledge about threat actors, such as, for example, Cozy Beer or Scatter Spider, allows for a better assessment of security risk related to the possible effect of their actions in the context of our businesses. In the context of endpoint monitoring, two cybersecurity frameworks are very important: MITRE ATT&CK and MITRE DEFEND. The first is a set of tactics and techniques used by cybercriminals whose threat mapping is visible in cybersecurity products. Uh, this framework makes it possible to identify gaps in the context of the ability to detect security threats, and therefore, in fact, allows us to assess the security maturity level of our organization. The defense framework, on the other hand, was created only a few years ago, and its goal is to define countermeasures to stop detected security threats. Different is a security countermeasures knowledge graph. The highest classification in the different hierarchy is tactics. Each tactic represents a defensive objective related to a given stage of the attack. Within tactics are techniques and sub-techniques that describes the methods used to achieve the tactics goals, including references to industry standards and security tools. Based on different metrics, the SOC team analysts can observe and analyze relevant digital artifacts using countermeasure techniques to understand what type of attack techniques an adversary may be trying to use on the network. Security teams can compare their security against the different metrics, countermeasures, and check to make more strategic decisions when selecting security tools. And the framework is designed to be flexible and adaptable, enabling organizations to tailor their security strategies to their unique needs and threat landscape. Okay, let's move to the hardening phase. Hardening aims to reduce the attack surface in the context of application, credential, and platform security, and emphasizes patch updates to reduce security vulnerabilities. Detection, the different matrix helps SOC teams improve detection engineering and threat modeling capabilities. Detection and threats based on MITRE attack by analyzing files, processes, user behavior, and the network traffic. The recommended solution according to the defense are SIEM, XDR, and MDR. Isolation. Isolation stops the threat and prevents it from spreading or escalating. It involves isolating vulnerable hosts at the network level. Using IP and DNS filtering, the SOC team can create physical and logical barriers across the network that prevent a threat actor from penetrating further. Deceive involves misleading attackers and redirecting them away from the protected organization. Attracting attackers is done using honeypots to learn the attackers' TTPs. It diverts cybercriminals from the real environment to a decoy environment. Evict is used to eliminate infected credentials and files from the network and terminate unwanted processes running on the network. Restore is the ability to restore the availability of a service after an attack. Let's consider an example of different countermeasure as executable law listing. On the main page, we see the definition of this countermeasure to use digital signatures to authenticate files, how these techniques works, additional information, connections to attack techniques, and connections between digital artifacts. How to use defense to improve the security in our organization? We should define the cybersecurity model. So we need to understand the threat, technique, procedures of actors who may threaten the organization we protect. We can narrow down this risk by risk to the organizational sector or geographical areas. We need to understand the motivation of attackers. For example, corporate espionage, financial gains, data theft, physical damage. Next, we map MITRE attack tactics and techniques in relation to our technology stack to understand the attack surface and countermeasure we have. Then prioritize the cyber attack techniques that most impact our organization. Attack Navigator is helpful to correlate the techniques of threat actors who threaten our organization. Once we have prioritized our list of offensive techniques, you need to become familiar with the data necessary to detect these techniques. This is where we often make mistakes because we often do not collect all relevant events. Prioritize attack mitigation using defense, as you are unlikely to be able to implement all countermeasures at once. So break it down into steps. Prioritize based on value and easy of implementation. Don't take the hardest thing first, even if it's the most valuable. Remember, your job is to reduce risk while ensuring your business can continue to operate. Mitra also provides tools that can extract attack techniques from text fragments and recommend appropriate defense countermeasures. In today's digital landscape, endpoint monitoring is crucial for establishing a robust IT security architecture. This presentation highlighted the importance of continuously monitoring endpoints to detect and respond to threats in real time. Endpoint monitoring involves tracking and analyzing activities on devices connected to the network, serving as the first line of defense against cyber threats. Endpoints are exposed to a variety of threats, including malware, zero-day attacks, and phishing. Monitoring these devices allows for quick identification and neutralization of threats. Defense is a valuable tool for cybersecurity professionals to help build more effective defense strategies. EDR systems monitor activity on endpoints in real time, analyzing suspicious behavior. This makes it possible to detect and respond to security incidents, which significantly shortens the response time to threats. Endpoint monitoring provides better visibility across the entire IT environment. This enables security teams to identify anomalies and potential breaches that might otherwise escape traditional security systems. Endpoint monitoring is a key element of your individual devices, but also the entire network, which is essential in the face of the growing number and complexity of cyber threats. If you want to delve deeper into this topic, we recommend reading these materials. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, please contact us by email or via LinkedIn. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.